Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Ducking Reality. Today in the studio, I have my friend Erik G. What's up, Erik?
What's up, girl?
I'm so excited to do this. We sat down probably, 2.5 years ago and tried to do this?
3.
3 years ago?
It was before I met the missus.
Yeah, it was when I first started to kind of get my feet wet with the podcast. And we sat down with my friend Hannah, who actually hasn't been on yet. We did talk to Hannah's boyfriend, Ollie, but the three of us sat down and the audio is just terrible.
Just not picking up well, or is it just because we're all over the place?
Well, it was because we were all over the place. We were sitting just in her living room with the mics up, and we just were kind of chatting, and so the audio was not great, but that conversation was so fun. Maybe someday I'll release bits and pieces of it that you can hear. Excuse me.
I brought a much smaller bag today.
Yeah, that day your bag was a lot of fun. So we'll get into that in a minute. But we met probably 4.5 years ago?
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, it was was it 2019 or 2020?
It had to be 2020 because that's when I moved to California.
Okay, yeah.
I think you were like one of the first people, because you were one of the first people I had ever gone on an online date with.
Oh. I took you to the Rose Garden. It's cool.
You did, yeah. We went to the Oakland Rose Garden, went for a walk. And at the end of our conversation, I was like, whew. And I think you said to me, like, so what do you think? And I was like, that's a lot.
I get that a lot.
And you were like, what do you mean? And I was like, I don't know your last name, but I know how the last three of your partners like to come. And I'm still very green for dating. And I think I said to you, like, I don't think we'll ever date, but can we be friends? Because I have a lot of follow-up questions.
I think you said you were on the fence about it, but, and then when he had me over, you're like, no, we can just be friends. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, because you are very experienced in, like, the poly and sexual world, and I was just coming out of, like, a long-term vanilla relationship and was just very green and kind of, like, exploring things, but, like, exploring just dating, never mind, like, what's in Erik's bag sexually, like...
Figuratively and literally.
Yes.
You played it off well.
Thanks. Well, yeah, I mean, because I don't want to judge it, and I still don't, but it's still like, okay, like, there's so much that is in that world.
Yeah.
Especially here in the Bay, because you grew up here in the Bay.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, out here, too, I think this is, like, the birthplace of poly. This is, like, or it seems, I mean, I know it's not really because of ancient multiple wives and things like that.
A lot more sex cults in the mountains and stuff, children of God. Yeah. Keep running into those people, and I'm like, oh, God.
I don't know if I know that cult.
Oh, man.
I must.
I mean, yeah, probably. It's like, you should look it up, and it's pretty expansive. They've gone global. They've been on the news a lot. The people I've met from them are just, like, undereducated, highly manipulative. I mean, the children that the children of God had are little more than gypsies, thieves, and liars, to be polite about it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's a couple of them that I've calmed down in life. I don't, scream and yell and want to kill everything anymore. But there's a couple of them out there that if I had a chance to get my hands around their neck, I probably would still go for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the kind of people that like act like they're your friend just to like immediately go talk shit about you behind a closed door, loud enough for you to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like those type of people. You're going to say it to my face.
Yeah, cause, you knew I'd... Yeah. I'm not even going to just go into that very much.
Oh. So how long have you been in the Bay? Remind me.
Moved here June... What is it? June of 95. I'm trying to remember the exact day. I think it was June 5th of 1995.
Oh, wow, okay.
Just supposed to be to visit my dad when I'm coming out from Alabama, but, like, I knew if I went back, it wasn't going to be good. Mm-hmm. I'd either be in jail, dead, or worse.
Yeah.
The South was not a good place for me. I have some good cooking skills and some manners, better manners than I see out here, and, like, how to relate to people and, like, politeness, opening doors for women. I mean, this chivalry shit, like, shouldn't be dead.
I know.
Yeah.
It really is. It actually, sometimes when someone is chivalrous now, it gives me, like, a double take. Like, what are you doing? Oh, okay, yeah, thanks for opening that.
Every now and again, I get some woman that's like, no, I can do it. Even if I'm dating them, they get, like, offended sometimes. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, I wonder how come chivalry died, like, and granted, yes, I can do it myself, but it's always nice to have someone like, and even like if you're walking into a door behind a stranger that's the same sex as you, like keeping it open, or like the common courtesy has died too.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. Like I want to be on a campaign to bring it back.
The quit being an asshole campaign.
Yeah, like I feel like it takes more work to be an asshole than it does. Like you actively have to try to be an asshole.
But it gets to be such a familiar feeling. I mean, I was fucking an asshole for decades.
This is true.
and still polite though. But like, what was it? My friends used to call me Mr. Bitch. But it like you get used to that feeling, and you like get off on making people feel like shit, and you get high on that anger and that aggression, and then then you try out like being nice and happy and polite, or just keeping to your damn self, and it's like. You feel like you're withdrawing, like something's missing, and it's just that anger monkey on your back. It's that negativity.
Yeah.
But I've had a trip for an eye opener on that one with me.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. It showed me how much my wife loved me. That anybody I've had to take care of that's been through any kind of episode like this for an hour, let alone 2.5 hours, I couldn't be around them for a hot minute. I had taken a couple gel tabs of acid, about half an eighth of mushroom tea, had smoked some DMT, and had Meredith pour me a dose of G. Well,
that's a lot of drugs.
yeah, and like we didn't realize that there's another dose of D dried up in the bottom of the cup.
Oh.
And I immediately took the dose. I was like, how much did you put in? And like, to summarize it, it was somewhere between demonic possession and a grand mal seizure for 2.5 hours.
Oh, God.
Like I was at one point in the corner, like climbing up into the corner towards the ceiling without using my hands and feet. I vaguely recall that. I can recall like my brain trying to shut down, like blinking very hard a few times. And then it's like the DMT kicked in like way late, and I think it was about the time, like Meredith said, like I was tuning in and out of Erik and other voices, personas, but it's like an old radio. I'd tune in, and every time she's like, this is how I knew we were going to get married. Every time you tuned in and you looked at me, you would just gush and say how lucky of a man I am you were, and like how tell me how beautiful I was, and then slip into tongues.
Oh.
And she goes, and then all of a sudden you, and I remember it too, she's like, all of a sudden you said something very childlike about, why is my mom here? She always wants me in trouble so she can be mad at me. And I remember saying that at about the time I found myself in like this blank, misty space. This is not like outer space, but like space. And I kept seeing these translucent curtains, tapestries.
Okay.
And I remember going to touch one. I could feel it scream.
Oh, wow.
So think, like the Norns, the three fates, they weave a man's soul, his life into a string. Well, if you wove all those strings into a tapestry, be a construct, right? I found myself in a place where they archived the constructs, I guess, because there were so many curtains and tapestries. And then my mom turns the corner and like starts growling at me and turns into a glowing green-eyed demonic wolf. And I'm like, I think Meredith even said, like, after I made that line about my mom, I was trying to backpedal off the bed, and somewhere in there she slipped her Apple Watch on me to monitor my heart rate, which I thought was very
brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever had to deal with anybody that far gone or on a bad trip with somebody, but like, she handled it so well. Then it was like, this is like the really weird part, and it was the hardest part I had communicating with her, is all of a sudden I felt something grab me. And it felt like it was light. Didn't feel hot or, if anything, it felt like soothing, cool. Mm-hmm. And I could smell my ex, Alexis. And then it spoke to me, and it wasn't quite Alexis's voice. It was her grandmother. Since her grandmother was, like, such a potent psychic, like, she paid her rent in the 50s, like, telling fortunes. She had Jewish servants, or she had German servants as a Jew in the 50s with how much money she made and how renowned of a psychic she was.
Wow.
But she died from BRCA1, I think breast cancer. So Alexis never met her. And as soon as I met Alexis, like, I did my thing where, like, I just awakened people's latent psychic ability, and that girl, like, just bust out with tarot cards, reading it left and right. She tuned in. I helped, awaken her, and that's what her grandmother thanked me for. So you'll help keep this lineage I worked very hard to establish alive through her through the triplet nieces that she's taken care of. But it's like, I guess either their family or the Ashkenazi tradition, like I guess the psychics are only the females.
Oh, okay.
Daughters of not Jehovah, but I forget that part. We'll edit that out. Yeah. And then she explains to me about like two things that somewhere along my family's line, like somebody sold their soul as something nefarious for whatever reason. And that's why my mom's side of the family has such incredible hot-tempered, anger issues. I mean, my granddad was such an asshole. He got kicked out of the Marine boot camp during the Korean War.
They're just like, you're too crazy to go to war.
You're too much of a fucking dick. Shut up. Yeah.
Well, is it that he was such a dick or you just couldn't follow orders?
Probably both.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because you are very into spirituality, psychic abilities, like you've honed that. Do you call yourself a warlock,
Oh, that's a Hollywood term.
Or a witch?
I consider myself a shaman.
A shaman.
On paper and filed away in a few places, I don't recognize as a witch.
Okay. I wanted to say witch, but I for some reason I always think witches are women and warlocks are men, but I think that is just like Hollywood terms.
Yeah. The only time it's like that term applies to women is with Latin and bruja. Bruja, there's no word bruja. So, you'll have to call yourself a witch or a bitch, basically.
I'm fine with being a bitch. Yeah. How did you get into like that world though? Like you come from Alabama, you come out here to see your dad. How did you kind of get into, like, did you, as a kid, were you always kind of psychic, or is it something you developed?
Oh, yeah. Like, I didn't realize what I was seeing until, like, I was in my 20s, probably, but as a little kid, after my grandmother died, I kept seeing this thing around the corner of my room, like, peeking around the door, and it was this color-changing apparition of a decomposing corpse. Oh. And it took me I blocked it out. We moved. It didn't follow me after we moved, but I think it was my grandmother as a revenant, a very, somebody who's a spirit that's going to keep following something or stay in one place for protection. And I guess, I got to see her as she decomposed. Death isn't always pretty.
Right.
And I've always just kind of heard things like, I've been always a lot different than other kids. Like, I didn't have imaginary friends growing up. I had imaginary enemies. Yeah, like voices and, like I could visualize, like, it was like the Muppets episode where they put the skit where they put the flashlights up to their face and then reverse polarize it as they sing. Well, each one of those faces had a different voice and different color.
Okay.
And there's like, 4 or 5, 6. And then I don't know how many were real because I've had other things happen where, like, some trauma where my brain made me, manifest hallucinations to get away from something. And then there's like, after doing ketamine therapy, there's the ones I could see, the little friendlies. Then there's the ones I could only hear, and I could just barely catch out the corner of my eye. And I think those were actually spirits. And or one or the other was, because when I did some ketamine therapy through Mind Bloom, I highly recommend them. Just that company, anybody that wants to do it. They're a little pricey, but they got a lot of liability on their hands.
Yeah. How old were you when you first did ketamine treatments?
Oh, this was like right after you and I met.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got to watch the transformation.
I have gotten to watch the transformation.
You're one of the few people that saw the change.
Yeah. Because when we met, you were in a really rough spot too.
Oh God, yeah.
Independent of, like, just us being incompatible with your experiences versus mine and my kind of willingness to jump into the deep end. You were just in a really rough spot. And
living in a halfway home in the Tenderloin. And was I on probation still, or was I just getting off it?
I think you might have just been getting off of it.
All right.
But you didn't get to that spot because you were just an asshole. Like, you've had some really terrible things happen in your life.
Yeah, I got to that spot because I quit pedaling the bicycle and got depressed, and my wife at the time knew that I wasn't slowing down, and she wasn't getting any younger.
Did you say you got clipped on a bicycle?
No, I quit pedaling the bicycle. Marriage is kind of like a tandem bicycle. You got to keep pedaling or you're going to crash.
Yeah, because that was your first marriage?
Oh, no.
Second?
Third.
How many times? 4?
This is 4.
4, yeah. This one seems good. I like this.
This one's just...
I don't know the other one, so I can't really speak to it, but...
Yeah, yeah. Didn't end well. I mean, I've never paid for a divorce.
But so you were in your marriage, you got your third marriage, you were unhappy, you stopped pedaling the bicycle.
Yeah, and came home from a job interview being told on the way home that I had it, and then getting halfway home being told that I didn't. And took a 6-hour detour, told her I'd be home when I'm not so pissed off, and got home and everything's gone.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, you know, I just kind of went off the deep end with drugs, and didn't have any. Well, it didn't have shit. I mean, she took everything. Yeah, it kind of spiraled out from there for the next 12 years. I tried getting away to Colorado to clean up and stuff, and that just, you know, don't try to escape from problems on the West Coast by going to the Wild West. That's all I have to say. My friend from California, like, you know, and pulled a gun on me multiple times in the house we shared, and until I pistol whipped him with his own pistol. I mean, I warned him. I mean, and that's his reputation even out here, was just if there's a noise, he pulls his gun first, and then, you know, I'm of the philosophy of if you're going to skin your fucking dick, you better be fucking putting a hole in something. Otherwise, you know, don't do it at all.
Right.
God, I mean, it was like a tumbleweed of all the worst directions and choices I could have made. You know, wound up getting a very unstable woman pregnant. The only time I've gotten anybody pregnant. Well, no, once other, but that was a whole other story. You know, kind of realized I was either going to kill Aaron or he was going to shoot me, so I left the guns and money I had, took the truck I was going to buy from my other roommate, and hopped in and saw a sign saying San Francisco, and came back out here to nothing. I had to, like, lean on a friend who was getting somebody out of his house just as I showed up, like, that day. So my dad was like, "Oh, I'm in Mexico. Let me know where you wind up." I'm like, "Fuck." And then it was just, like, you know, 10 years of me sinking more than swimming. And then, like, so that was 2010 when I came back from Colorado. When I went there and came back.
How long had you been in Colorado? Like, how long had you tried it?
Not even 6 months. I think I came back February 2011. That's right. And let's see. And I think like 2013, I had just gotten some stabilization, gotten a job, money in the bank, had quit using drugs enough and selling drugs that, you know, I was making hand over fist money. Just like had about $3,000 in the bank, like nothing, on top of paying rent for 4 months, which was great because when I got stabbed in 2013 January, and had my aorta punctured.
Wait, so just to back up, so you come back from Colorado, you're getting your shit together, you have a stable place, you've got a job, you've got money, like things are on the up and up. Things have really, like, you're getting your shit together. Yeah,
and I'm on my way home from work. Because the restaurant I was doing construction for is being funny about their money, which that's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Decided to, like, not wait half an hour to take a bus because I had to go break up with a girlfriend, restock on drugs, and make it to a job interview by 8 o'clock with a Dropbox. And I never made that because, you know, I mean, at the time I was, like, a lot bigger, like 197 or 13% body fat. I mean, just one day I yawned. I'm like, what the hell hit it's my biceps hit my forearms. Shit, when did that happen? You know, I had an XXL leather jacket on at the time, and it was tight fitting. I would not have fucked with me.
Right.
And these guys saw me walking uphill, and I heard this voice at one point say, "Jump over these cars, get in the middle of the road." And I looked down about to my right, you know, abdomen, like, what? I mean, that's where I heard it from. I guess that's where your cockles are or something, because that sure shit, it must have been what yelled at me. And I was like, what the fuck's, you know?
Yeah.
And I broke every rule of situational awareness that I used to teach and practice in martial arts. So I was just so hell-bent on, like, getting home, getting this done. I was running behind, missed the bus by a minute, didn't get paid, meow, 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 meow. And this guy walks up, grabs my phone, and out of my brand new jacket pocket, which meant he saw me put it up at the bus stop, and I proceeded to break his wrist, his nose, and then really start hammering his face. And I didn't see. Well, I should back up. I was facing uphill when the sun was setting at twilight, and there's, you know, it's easier to see it dark than twilight, especially like 14th Street in San Francisco. That's like one of the worst lit streets out there. I didn't see this other guy run around behind me, and all I felt was a thump in my chest. He had taken a piece of a windshield wiper blade that he sharpened, and it bounced off my sternum and punctured my aorta. And that was probably about the time that I fractured the other guy's ocular orbital because the amount of adrenaline went through. I thought like somebody poured acid on me. I mean, it was a big burn. And after that, like the guy's, the guy was hitting was unconscious on his feet when his friend comes around and he's hopping, he's smiling. I'm like, all right. I drop my bag and I pull a hammer out and I say to myself, why am I wet? Oh no. Oh shit. I think I got stabbed. And I couldn't to rush the guys. And they grabbed his buddy and a bag I had with a broken drill and an empty can of paint and a tablet. So the only thing they got was a tablet and managed to sell it at the pawn shop. Even though it was reported stolen, but that's why CX is out of business. I mean, it was all over the iPhone 4 because they disabled the anti-theft features, and iPhone's policy was, well, I mean, why do we want to help you not lose your phone?
Right.
So, being the 12th out of 13th victim that this group of guys assaulted, the city handed them all 12 medical bills, 12 or 13. Mine was like, without reduction, without insurance, over $3 million.
Wow.
I mean, I have a rare blood type, and, they had to put 4 liters back in me, which meant I sanguinated somewhere along the lines. I think that was right before they opened me up, but...
Yeah, so they steal all your shit, and then you...
Oh, no. They barely got anything.
But the phone, the tablet, the bag...
No, see, they thought I had an iPhone. I just had a shitty Boost Mobile. Oh. Yeah, an HTC phone. I don't
mean to laugh, but like...
No, I still don't touch iPhone to this day for that and other reasons, but they didn't get the phone. Up until my storage got taken like 5 years ago, I still had the phone.
Oh, wow.
I was going to bronze it or something, but it didn't work, but...
the phone that almost cost you your life.
Yeah. It was that HTC Evo something. Evo Pro design. Yeah. I mean, waking up from surgery was like a nightmare. I'm like looking around going, did I get abducted by aliens? Because it's all dark. I see lab coats and face masks, and I start reaching for the nearest heavy object, and I'm intubated, and the doctor's like, hey, just calm down. You're in a safe place. And I don't know why that's such a communal... I've heard that said to me and other people in many situations. They just calm down. Yeah. When you're waking up in an environment.
Hospital, yeah.
And I remember the doctor's like, here, let me take care of this for you. And I like took the tube and just kind of pulled it out. He's like, you've done this before? I'm like, once or twice. And looked around and he goes,
how many times have you been intubated?
Once or twice. And he's like, you know where you are? I'm like, I better be in the fucking hospital. Right. And he's like, you're in the hospital. We're going to sit up. He goes, don't do that. Do you remember what happened? I'm like, oh, some asshole stabbed me. He goes, yeah. We had to put a suture in your aorta and aorta membrane. And I just broke. Then I started crying because I've had nightmares about having that done. I mean, for the way I operate, the way I did so many things, like, that's the most damaging thing you can do to save a human life. And, yeah, and then I was like, that explains why when I went to sit up, I couldn't, and why it hurt so fucking much.
Right, because they crack your chest open.
Yep, that noise. And they wire it shut with titanium. And, not fun. I remember, like, actually the scariest part after that was them getting me transferred to another bed, and like, hey, you have to get up, and I'm like, nope. The whole thing was, like, not a pleasant experience. I think a few weeks later I tried to leave the house with the woman I was involved with and renting a room from. It's probably the nicest thing I have to say about her at this point.
You can leave it at that.
Yeah. And walking down and seeing somebody walk up towards me, and I couldn't stop shaking and, like, being afraid. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I mean, I got more balls than brains, and I got a lot of brains. What the hell's going on? Right. And I think it was probably the most severe trauma reaction I've had out of anything in my life. And the guys walking by look at me, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just getting out of the hospital after getting assaulted. And he's like, he goes, I thought it was like a racial thing because he's black. And I'm like, no, dude, I have no problem with race. It's, I think, anybody walking up right now. And I mean, it was a lot of just shit. And I think within 6 months, I was back on the street. I tell people I was homeless from 2010 on, more on than off. And when I was housed, I kept looking up at the ceiling, waiting for it to fall in. Cause, it took me a while to realize why the fuck do we keep looking up? And it's because everything that's going so well, I was, getting ready to sabotage it.
Yep.
And it took losing control and losing composure and an episode of domestic violence between like a couple of very unstable young ladies, like behavioral disorders. Yeah, borderline behavioral disorder, the only one that's contagious. Because it'll drive you fucking nuts.
Well, I think it makes you feel crazy.
Yeah, it does.
Because, like, the person that you're dealing with is never the same person, and they're... Just because their mood swings and the...
Yeah, and how much they have to, like, either... Oh, there's, like, the honeymoon period, and then, like, when they fall out of love with you, and when they get to a point where instead of like having to have your attention all the time to making sure nobody else can have your attention.
Right.
And that's where they just start sabotaging your shit. And I think one of them was actually more of a, frankly, sociopath. I think she became a sociopath just because she started using meth again and like filed a couple of bogus sexual assault charges on me. I mean, she did that because I think she knew like it was the most harmful thing she could do to me.
Right.
That's a whole rabbit hole I'm not going to get into.
Yeah.
But
well, because when you're unhoused and how do you feel about that term unhoused versus homeless as someone that has lived that life? Does it feel like it's just placating, or does it feel like it's like a better representation of it?
Well, I mean, it depends on the degree of homelessness. There's people that are on the streets. That's homeless. There's people that are in and out of shelters. That's homeless. The people that like are a subtenant or couch surfing, that's unhoused.
Okay.
That's where you've got an address. You don't have a mail drop. That's where you've got somebody or a way that like a warrant could be served on you easily, or someone could stop by and say hi, check on you. A place you could cook. Though, I mean, when I was living out of a car, I think I should have written down a lot of the recipes I had going because...
You have a whole car cookbook?
Oh, yeah. Was it tailgate and roadside cuisine dining? How to make a full, like, course meal with, like, 1 camp burner stove and 2 pans. Mm-hmm. I figured out how to make chalupas. Peanut oil and flour tortillas.
Nice. All right.
And that was when I was living out of Miata in the station wagon. The Miata is how we got around the station wagons where we... did our business.
You had 2 cars, so you were like bawling as a homeless person.
Oh, ish. You know. When you're homeless, the one person is one set of needs, and a couple, 2 people, is 3 sets of needs because you've got each of them and their bullshit.
Oh yeah.
There's always gonna be bullshit with a couple.
Yeah.
I tell people like that a couple's been homeless, if you guys want to get housed in out of this situation, the best thing you do is stay in contact and don't be together. You got to find a way to like don't be dependent on one another. When you're independent and get set, and you're both set, that's when you can probably come back together. Otherwise, you're just going to keep leaning on each other. It'll be interdependency or codependency or worse.
Right.
And it's a real harsh thing to realize. And the couples I've mentioned it to, and they've gone that direction. One always gets pissed at me because they don't understand, and the other one kind of does and hates life because it's the last thing you want to do is bail out on your partner.
Right.
And
but you can't save someone else if you haven't saved yourself.
Bingo.
Like, and that's I feel like the only place we hear that now is on an airplane. Like everywhere else in your life, you know what I mean? I think it is the only place that you hear it. And so if you've never been on a plane, you might never have heard. Like you can't. I mean, people say it, but they say it in like an arbitrary, like throwaway thing.
Oh, there's enough references to that in movies and stuff. They've never been on a plane. They know what's up.
But I think like it's not as common as known as it should. Like it's not. That's a fact. Like you can't help someone else if you haven't helped yourself. Like because you're going to keep giving and giving, and then you're going to destroy yourself, and then then you can't help anyone. Yeah.
If you don't have oxygen and you can't get the other person, by the time you get the other person oxygen, you probably both won't have it.
Right.
Or if you have to help them get it, then they're going to be too out of it to not try to help you, and then just
Right.
I still want to be in a plane crash just so I can look at the person next to me and say, "Not this shit again." But
remind me never to get on a plane with you. Fuck.
I just got the line rehearsed, waiting, just to see the look on the person's face and smile at them.
You are a sadistic bastard.
Yeah, I got my dad's gene liking to fuck with people.
I like to fuck with people, but not when like that. Yeah, maybe.
If you can't fat, you have to laugh in the face of death.
You have to laugh in the face of everything.
I mean, life gets the last laugh.
No.
It is the Killing Joke.
It is.
Yeah.
But you have, like, you know, you've gone through all of this stuff, but you have, one, you have kept your sense of humor. Two, you have, like, softened. You're not as angry as you used to be.
Thank God.
Yeah. And it's nice to see. And, like, you slowly rebuilt your whole life. Like, I went from picking you up in the Tenderloin to, like, coming to your wedding.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's a huge...
Big jump. Yeah.
Big jump, you know, and you've done it with, like, humility and grace and, like, trying to help other people and being like, hey, I've done that. Like, try this, do this. Like, and you don't come from a judgment place. You don't come... I mean... You kind of judge, but like in a...
You gotta do something real fucked up for me to judge.
Yeah, like you're like me, where you come from more of curiosity and like, okay, well, I can understand, where like some people will be like, I can't understand how you got that far down that road. Where it's like, oh, that's because you've never been down that road. Like,
most people don't fucking understand what empathy is.
Yeah. How do you think, where do you think we lost it?
Reaganomics. I mean, frankly, I like...
the trickle down.
Yeah, it trickled out.
Yeah.
You know, I honestly, it was weird when I lost... The anger went away. I lost my mojo. It's like I had the hardest time dating, getting anybody, cooking out. I was like, what the fuck?
I remember you saying that.
And it was, you know, it was like, I even had one person, you just seem like you're just too mellow for me. I'm like... One person was like, I mean, you look better than your pictures, but there's a quality about it. I'm like... Huh, I only know that, and I broke it down for her. She goes, oh, I gotta go examine myself. Have a nice day. And walked over, pet a dog, and yeah. Everybody wanted to be friends after that. I'm like, oh, fucking, you all need some repair manual for something, huh? Mm-hmm. I was getting ready to swear off, like, dating and stuff in general, like, when I met Meredith. And I was persistent about that one. Kept talking about pie. She goes, well, this guy really wants to make me pie, so. She was actually gonna, like, just meet for pie and then, you know, catch the plane home, like, back to Canada, like, in March. And, I mean, that was, like, the fastest and hardest I ever felt for anybody. I mean, like, that was just surreal, you know, like, she really wanted to get to know me. And, well, I mean, I have to say, I wooed her over with a pie you didn't like. Oh. The lemon sour cream pie.
Yeah, I'm not a sour cream fan.
Do you like key lime pie?
Not really.
Okay, then you wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, and people always try to convince me otherwise. Like, the only time I will eat sour cream is when it is made into an onion dip, which does not make any sense.
That's where you can do the same with plain yogurt.
Right, but I actually prefer, like, the plain yogurt feels like it has a weird aftertaste to me.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I will eat sour cream. If you put it on any of my other food, I will complain. I will send it back. I will be a bitch. I do not like it. Like, don't put it on my potato.
It's not the first time I've heard it.
Yeah, like, it's like mayonnaise. Aioli is mayonnaise. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't want it on my food.
Yeah.
So it just, in anything, I can taste it. Except for, like, onion dip. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I've tried it. But people keep trying to convince me otherwise. And I'm like, no. I'm 45 years old. I know what I do not like. Do not try to tell me otherwise. I'm very open. I'll try things multiple times.
I think the pie that I made for her was one of the best pies I made like that. The two that I made when I met her parents, her mom liked it so much she never gets food after midnight and went and snuck a extra slice. And she was
you are an incredible baker.
Oh, thank you.
I have had some. Oh, hold on one second.
Right. One of your old guys.
One of my old guys from the bar.
Oh.
He's been writing. He actually just released his episode. Patrick. He is an old vet that learned about PTSD and all of that. So he was in the Navy for 30 years or something. But he was always angry and then realized that through therapy that, you know, because he was sexually assaulted as a kid and back in like the 50s, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So he's been working on his memoir. So I've been helping him with editing and formatting. And
he just can't use memoirs of a motherfucker. That's mine.
Oh, all right. We'll take that out of this one too. Or maybe that's what we'll call this episode.
Episode 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Meeting Meredith was like, I mean, I sat here for like a day. It was probably like not even a month into dating. I mean, maybe 6 weeks. And I sat here for like a full day before I called her to go over. I delayed going over there by a day because I was trying to, with how bad my handwriting is, try to write my feelings for her and like, you know, love note, whatever. And I walk in her door and I'm like, you know, I'm more than halfway down. I'm trying to like, I basically said, okay, fuck it. I'll deal with the chicken scratch and the cross out stuff and I'll finish it when I get a chance there. And walk in, and there's my name on a card, and I knew exactly what was in there. But she wouldn't give it. She just put it out for me to discover. And I was kind of like, I kind of did a coy dick move, and I was like, well, it could be any Erik. I'll wait for her to give it to me. And so she put it here, she put it there, and I sat down in the bed with it on my pillow. I'm all, is this something you'd like to share with me? She goes, yeah, that's what your name's on. I'm like, you should just hand it to me. She goes, I'm scared. Like, I had the feeling that, she goes, just don't say anything, just read it. And I read it, and I started laughing, and she's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, well, here, and I handed her the one I had. I'm like, it said pretty much the same fucking thing. Just, this has been, like, so beautiful, swimmingly easy, so natural. I've never felt, this is more natural than washing my hands, and healthier. And even her cat concurred. Like, the day we met, walked in the door and he threw himself on my feet and went belly up. And I'm like, oh, he's friendly. She goes, not normally. No. He just doesn't like guys. And then when I went to leave, he, like, reaches out his paws and it's like, no. It was, that cat was a special little guy. He was funny as hell.
I'm sorry for his loss. Or your loss.
Yeah. And that was her baby of 13 years. And I think shortly after I gave that letter was a couple days later is like when I found out, because I'd missed this part of her profile on OkCupid that she was going to be going back to Canada in March. And I'm like, oh. I said, fuck. I would have seen that. I really wouldn't have. She goes, well, you didn't read all my profile? I'm all, no. She goes, why do you keep feeding me and calling me beautiful? I'm like, because you are, and I enjoy feeding people. She goes, that's the last line in there. I just basically want somebody to feed me and tell me I'm pretty. I'm like, well, that's easy. And, I probably got a third of the way through profile, and we had like a 97, 98% match. But she only had 12 questions listed, and I missed 7 of the 12. So I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I asked her later, are you the type of person that answered all the questions? She goes, yeah, I just don't share all the questions. Why do I want to give you a cheat sheet? Oh. I'm like, well, you need a cheat sheet for me. She goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, she's been...
So you guys met on OkCupid?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was, I think that was like one of the 2 people I matched or contacted down there after being off there for years. Didn't want to go back on Tinder, didn't want to, I would probably run into Alexis or whatever. It was just, I saw her brown eyes and the way she was holding her cat, smiling. And then I saw that she also worked at a couple places I did, but like after I did. And she didn't want anybody who was in the Burning Man scene. She didn't want anybody who knew who she was, what she did for a living, or read any of her blah, 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 blah. Basically, if I know you, or you know, or if you know me, or you've done the things I've done, or you know someone I've dated, don't bother.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, well, she didn't put construction guys. So, I put that, contact her, and she's like, well, when I get back, I have to make sure I don't have COVID, this, that, the other. And it was this cute, I could tell she was probably not going to follow through. And I'm like, hey, I just made a pie. You can make me waste this thing?
Right.
She goes, well, will it still be good in 2 days? I'm like, yeah. She goes, except my flight's delayed. I'll be landing tomorrow or whatever. And I was just talking about that last night. She saw, I walked up and I saw you at Gary at UN Plaza or Union Square, and thought, oh man, he's conventionally attractive. This isn't going to work. I'm like, what?
He's conventionally attractive. That's not going to work.
I mean, because
it's one of the greatest lines.
People who are conventionally attractive aren't attracted to me. I'm like, you probably just don't realize it.
But she's very pretty.
Yeah.
And she's smart as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
That's the part. Like, when she was telling me about her job, I was just like, okay, I need you to come back and we need to do this when no one else is around so I can really understand what you do.
Yeah. I mean, whenever I think I understand, and she just changed departments. She changed to a department where this team is using all the tools she built in her last job. Yeah. So I guess they got their on-site tech support when they need with her.
Yeah.
But when my dad met her, that was a fiasco to get him the fuck out of here. She flew home early Christmas, and he was supposed to come up and meet Christmas Day, or the day after Christmas, and got wind that his nephew was sick, so he just doubled back and didn't let me know until he got back to Arizona. And I was like, Dad, I really, I started explaining to him, I started to go off a little bit. I think the first message I sent him was just 2 lines, but Dad, it's really important that you came out here to meet this person, and I wanted to see the change I made. Well, tell me about him. Well, that just won't fucking cut it. And for 6 weeks, my dad had this, Erik is typing a message, because I never hit send. I evidently never closed out the window either. I just found like, you've been typing that message a long time. I'm like, Dad, I'm getting married. And you can't come to my wedding if you haven't met my fucking, my fiance yet. I don't want to take away from her special day. And that would be a lot. I don't want you to meet her for approval. I just, she's very family oriented. I just met her family, and she left her family on Christmas Day early to meet you.
Right.
Which she was like, yeah, it wasn't that big a deal. It was awkward,
Well, of course, she's not going to say it's a big deal. It's hurtful, and for your dad not to say anything, and it feels like that. Then it doesn't matter, and
it's
there's
such
a bunch
a
of
typical
feelings
thing for him to do,
right?
Yeah.
For you, it's like, this is just my dad being kind of an asshole,
just him being and blowing me off. I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, something my dad has said to me a couple of times, Eric, we've adored all the women that have been in your life. Every single one of them, we just hated seeing so many of them come and go. And I was trying to not introduce my dad to anybody else that wasn't like long term. And the last one I did, whatever. Last one I did understood that. We went to Arizona, and it still was like, what the fuck? Shit canned it, and a few months later, but that's, menopause. It's a whole different wormhole, or a rabbit hole to go down. But my dad, when I came out and met her, I'm going to leave you two alone, because, Dad, you know me. And I'm still begrudgingly polite to my father. I mean, when he and I forget we're father and son, we get along really well. Otherwise, not. And I walk out of the room, and he said something about telling me about you, and she goes, well, I've got a PhD in zoology. My dad's jaw hit the floor. He was like, what? And I even faked sick that weekend so that they could go for a hike. I'm like, if I'm there, it's going to be, I want them to be able to have that unfiltered time.
Right.
And my dad actually very politely and somewhat directly said, Eric has a past. How's his mood been? How's his anger been? She goes, I hear about this Erik. I've never met him.
Right.
I've heard Erik raise his voice twice. I wouldn't say he raised his voice one of those times to me in anger. We were moving. It was a long day, and he kept repeating himself, and he said it loud enough for me to snap out of it. And I've probably barked at Erik a little bit once, but I've only heard him raise his voice once, and that was in defense of somebody else. She goes, I can deal with that kind of man. Mm-hmm. And my dad said something along the lines of, oh, he's back to his normal self. And that was it was a really interesting trip. First thing my dad said when he saw me get out of the car is, you can't wait. I'm like, fuck you. But I did actually gain 50 pounds in the first 6 months of dating her. Of course, I slept through the first 3 months of it because I had vitamin D deficiency so low. I would sleep for 12, 14 hours a day, or if I didn't, at some point I would just drop and be unmovable for 4 hours. So I think that and the 1 to 3 hot cocos with marshmallows a day she'd feed me, actually, first time in my life made me gain weight. I'm like, I'm at 220? What the hell? And then when I met her, I was at 178. Yeah. Down to 2 now, but it was like, okay, if this woman can put away, make me change my waistline, she helped me buy a whole new wardrobe because I feel guilty. Yeah. People at the halfway house noticed the staff. They're like, you seem a lot happier. I mean, and we noticed you're not here as much. So that probably has something to do with it. But you're wearing sweats a lot too. What's up? Did you gained weight? I'm like, yeah, sobered up.
Do you think that she helped you get sober, or stay sober, or do you think that you were on that path anyways, and she was just a happy kind of addition to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
all of it.
I went through a year of being on Wellbutrin and all this stuff to get on Adderall because my nurse practitioner pharmacologist. I mean, he's got a real long title. So okay, so what I do is I have you stay off. If you've got this history of substance abuse, I have you stay off it and drug test at the end of the year. And if you're still clean, then he'll drug test you going into it and then out of it. And if you're still clean, then I'll put you on Adderall. And she, with her experience with her ex and kind of my history of it too, was I don't want to put her through that. So last minute I said, no, I'm gonna abstain. And he was like, what? Really? I'm like, yeah, I think Wellbutrin's doing good enough. I'm going to keep microdosing on mushrooms. He goes, well, can I I've got a few clients that are doing that. Can I call you from time to time? I'm like, absolutely. Actually, I think he started microdosing on mushrooms. I won't say his name. I still am affiliated with people that use. My best friend, my best man at my wedding. I shouldn't say much more than that.
Right, yeah. Because it's not our story to tell his story. It's not our place to tell his story.
True. I mean, I also like... It's weird. I'd say the handful of friends I've retained, because I did ultimately learn that sometimes you're just better off without, be selective about the company you keep, because sometimes the company ain't worth keeping.
Right. Well, you are the people you surround yourself with, right? Like, and so if the people that you surround yourself are, like, one of my uncles always says, if you hang out at the barber's, you're going to get a haircut.
Yep. Like,
if you hang out at the bar, you're going to have a drink. And so it's better not to hang out at the bar.
But I think, But sometimes I think that you can keep those relationships and you just kind of distance them in a different way. Yeah. Because you can care about someone that makes choices that you don't agree with. I think that's something we've gotten away from a lot in this society, too. Yeah. Like, I have friends that live very different lifestyles than me, and that I wouldn't live that lifestyle, but there are qualities about them that I love, and I love to spend some time with them and see them. And then they go back to that part of their world, and I come back to this part of my world. And you don't stereotype them. You treat them individually. Right. Because I don't think you can. Stereotypes are there for reasons, but they're not facts. If someone gives me a reason to stereotype them, then I will. Right. Which is usually fall under the category of useless. But I try to treat individuals as such because of the handful who have done it for me. Right. It is nice to hear, my best friend and all these other people, people I used to party with that he still talks to. They ask how I'm doing. Erik is doing great. He's making all the right decisions. Mm-hmm. And a few of them are like, wait, he's married? What? How many times is that? Yeah. I mean, when I asked him to be my best man, that was hilarious. He was like, oh my God, haven't you learned by now? Wait a minute. No, I totally will. I support this. This is a good idea for all the right reasons. And I was like, the fuck? Who are you? I mean, he's usually plays devil's advocate, very much curmudgeon, but it was just, it made me cry. It was so unexpected. Mm. And so is the chest hair. I don't know, how can a gay man not have an undershirt with him? I'm like, dude. See? Stereotype. Not all gay men are put together perfectly. No, yeah, I've got more fashion designer and interior designer gauging than he does. Hmm. He has me come over and help select his paints. Otherwise, it's all institutional green or taupe. Well, you're very secure in your sexuality. Yeah. Because you've had a lot of practice. Yeah. I do want to talk about the what's in Erik's bag thing. Because I do have pictures. And maybe we'll post them, maybe we won't. But the day that we did the first interview, I had picked you up from a date. I'm not a date. Well. It was somebody I'd been dating. All right. But I picked you up from a night with a lady friend. Okay. Yeah. And I don't even know how we got into it. I put my bag down. I think I moved it off the table. Like, are you into moving? I'm going, dude, what the fuck is in this bag? Let's see what's in Erik's bag. I'm all, oh, shit. Okay. And there was so many different sex toys and lubes and hooks. Oh, that's when I had the anal hook, huh? And I was like, this is a what? Yeah. That was like, I remember having a hand on. She said, this is bigger than my arm. Well, hey, put both your hands together. Like, I don't think she ever got it. No. And then she brought out her butt plug, and it was way tinier than your butt plug. And I was like, you both have butt plugs? What am I missing in life? Well, or not? Well, I mean, with anal, it's like a third of the people in the world love it. Another third, whatever. And then there's a third that will cut you if you touch them back there. Mm. And I think men have turned that ratio into something much worse because... Okay, any guys listen to this? You guys fucking suck in bed are selfish dicks. Everything I hear and have had to repair in women, it's oh my God, be thoughtful. Do you want someone ramming it in you like that? Mm. You want a woman to go down on you, but you're gonna call her a bitch, you're gonna degrade her, you're not gonna reciprocate. If you're just in it for self gratification, get a fucking hooker, get a goddamn fleshlight. But I mean, these are people. This is why a lot of women are so standoffish to men, is because most men are bad fucking lays. Mm-hmm. And that's being polite about it. I mean, God, I was in my 20s and dating women in their 30s and hearing so many times, oh my God, I've never had someone else give me an orgasm. And I felt ashamed to be a man. I mean, proud that I could do this, but it's like, God, this is the standard. I mean, I literally get high on getting my partners off. I will forgo getting off myself just because I'm having a good time going there. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And if you're on it for the destination, take a fucking plane somewhere. Don't enjoy the scenery. You might as well just have a quickie or a hook or whatever.
Right.
Even situation, I think those people who can do situationships understand the journey.
Yeah.
And if it's like you're not getting out of it what you're putting into it, then don't put it in, and vice versa. I mean,
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll say it again, guys. You should be embarrassed. I mean, there's some men out there that have like their sexual prowess experience, they're well learned, trained, groomed, whatever. But they're more so than me. But that's few and far between. I think been introduced to a couple of them. Well, I have different skill sets, but there's so many more women that are like, oh, yeah, I still don't even know why I have sex. And then the few I would have sex with, like, oh, that's why I have sex. And a couple of them, that recollection made them relapse because they probably were like 5 years to 8 years off of like meth, and then the association of good sex and being banged for a couple hours, But I think that was... Put
them back on meth? Wait, say that again. You just lost me on that one.
So, like, a couple of women, like,
Full disclosure.
When you're having marathon sex and meth, like, the dopamine release, most people, like, the orgasm delay, most people can't have sex more than, 5-10 minutes. On meth, you'd be lucky if you get off, probably fuck for 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Maybe stop, take a puff or two. Depends on how you do it. And because they experienced that a similar dopamine release with me, and I think actually both of these women used to do meth and drank, and then started drinking, which is it's the same addiction gene in the brain. It was meth and alcohol. I don't understand why that is, but sure. That they went back, they went to another partner, couldn't find it, and then just got back on speed so they could get high and fuck for hours, or masturbate for hours, or get that
dopamine release.
Yeah. I think actually the only one of them I saw that told me that she did that I saw and played with. That was kind of an endurance challenge. If I can keep up sober with a girl on meth, man, I was sore the next day.
That was your challenge for yourself?
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck like crazy, but I'm not doing meth.
In a lot of ways. But then I was like, oh, this sweat.
That's hanging out at the barbershop.
Yeah. I mean, even sweat contact,
You can get high off someone else's meth by sweat contact? Well, because you're licking it, right, I guess?
Oh, it's even body to body. It's like, you can get Hep A that way. Hep B. You can get hepatitis with sweat on sweat skin transference. So there's a lot of things that,
Yeah.
My friend had a dog that he had put in doggy rehab. So the dog would sit around whenever you packed a bowl and be looking for crumbs. If you were smoking something, he'd jump up in your face as you're exhaling, lick your sweat. And when he went to go play, he'd start whining because he wanted to get high. And when they got him sober, he didn't last much longer. He had inherited the dog kind of in this state, and
wow.
I mean, he put lockdown. He goes, I don't want this dog. I can't see my dog like this anymore. And so no more smoking. You can only shoot up in the living room. If you want to smoke, go in the bathroom. I'm like, great. And
it's such a
the whole shooting up thing is very weird with a lot of them. They see it. They look down on people that smoke dope. I'm like, oh yeah, no, you guys, you huff dope. I just shoot it up. It's cleaner.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There are judgy people in every section of every subculture of life.
Especially cokeheads.
Who do you think is the most judgy drug addict?
Cokeheads. Yeah. Cokeheads will I've heard of women say, well, cocaine's glamorous. Meth is horrible. I'm like, okay, well, what's your big deal with meth? I watched my mother get lung cancer from smoking so much meth. I'm all, did your mom smoke cigarettes? Because I guarantee you what meth gave her lung cancer.
Right. Meth will just make your teeth fall out, right?
From dehydration. Oh,
it's not from the meth. It's from dehydration?
Yep. Or in my case, vitamin D deficiency mostly. They'll crumble out what this lady say, hairspray huddling together sand when they do. But with mine, it was they just start breaking in half, and then I have no molars on my lower jaw, but I should have them again soon in about 6 months.
Nice.
It's going to cost me $7,000.
Wow.
which is still cheaper than it was.
Can you just go to Canada with Meredith and get it for free?
No. Oh, oh my God. That's
Did you get a Canadian citizenship when you...
No, you still have to apply. Like, she's applying for a green card, but her visa was written as such that she's, for the 13 years she's had a visa, she stated that she will not be seeking a residency or asylum in the United States. As long as her visa is active, she can't even look at purchasing, or we can't own property.
Oh, really?
I think I could, but like, we would have to file separately, that kind of stuff. She's been paying her taxes and she's been working here for 13 years, but yeah, we've, the document that our lawyer put together to send in to immigration. Okay, so he goes, okay, these are the bare minimum. This is what you have to have. These are the questions they often come back with. And I like to give them everything, so when they look at the stack of paper, they're not going to do more than open it up and say approved.
Right.
Because they're going to see how much is in there. And, I mean, not even check it. It's going to be like,
obvious that you guys didn't get married for
it's almost 400 pages.
Holy shit.
And he's always asking us, can you get more photos, more updates? I'm like, I sent you a video of us having sex last week. But I mean, he's like, no, that maybe, but not right now.
Yeah. He's like, we don't need that for the file.
I actually bought a drone that does the whole follow me thing. I was trying to pilot and figure it out, and then realized, the best way to do it is just to have it lock onto you, and it follows you around. You can do figure eights. I was actually using it for work stuff, for survey the site. But I was trying to get a picture of her and I working together in the backyard when we had the dog, but the dog kept trying to eat the drone. It would try to bite it was trying to bite the drone. So we just got to, like, we might have you stop over and take some pictures or something. But the whole follow me thing on the drone was like, you just either hit a button or give it a voice command, and it follows you. Wherever you start it up, it'll lock on, and then you hit a button or go through your phone to tell it what to do, and just put it in your pocket.
Is it small? Like,
it's like
a really small drone?
Like this big. It's
nice.
The smallest one the DJI makes.
Okay.
It's like the Neo. It's probably it's less than 6x6. And it does a great job wind compensation. As soon as it gets to it can handle 15 miles per hour, but as soon as it gets to 10, it goes landing.
Oh, okay.
That's a big gust.
Yeah.
Especially in Pacifica. And one side of there's a part of my yard where I can't fly it in because it's a part of a no-fly zone, but another part of it's like a restricted fly zone. So as long as I keep it under a certain altitude,
okay, it's
literally like a 5-foot strip that I can't fly in.
That's wild.
Yeah. I can't launch it at work because just like a candlestick point. So that's within direct flight path. I guess there's not many places you can actually fly a drone in Pacifica. So. But mine's so small, I don't think it would get up that high.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, because if you keep it relatively close to the ground,
I think 200 feet is as high as it's going to get, and I wouldn't want to fly it that high.
Right.
You don't know what the gust is like up there, and especially in Pacifica. Shit, my house moves. It's made of redwood for the timber support, but it's also Tom doesn't. I dug French drains and regraded the backyard because it was sloping down towards the foundation, and every time it would rain, I'd have to re-center the deadbolt, and there'd be puddles in the backyard, so, said fuck it. I was going to leverage them for, lower rent or something to, I didn't ask, I just did it.
Right.
But at this point, with the state of the house and the neighbors stuff, we're moving. Our neighbors are... plus, there's just... Instead of fixing the problems at his house, he bought another set of problems and moved out, because that's the only way he could get his garage clean.
Yeah.
I understand that a lot right now. But, I've been occupying mine with a workbench. I just finished today. That's why I was 45 minutes late. I'm like, okay, I got the wheels on. If I could put it in the corner, okay.
I was very happy that you were 45 minutes late. I went back to sleep for a half hour. I got up and did a few things. It was just exhausted from the weekend and working and...
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what all I had in the bag that day. It was the...
I can almost picture it laid out on the table because there was a huge black dildo that was as big as this water bottle.
Length or width?
Both.
Oh,
and then there's the big black butt plug.
Well, that one actually wasn't was it the pyramid butt plug, or was it shaped like a plug?
A teardrop.
Oh, that was my e-stim unit.
What is that?
E-stim electrostimulation.
That one had a stimulation to it?
Yeah, you plug in a couple wires like a TENS unit.
Oh.
That was the low-end one. I got one since then that been trying to buy for fucking ever. Like,
I was going to say, should I try to figure out where those pictures are?
Oh, yeah. That was when my collection was much smaller. And Meredith has gone full. She...
So when you meet, because like when we met, you started like
I listed out because
you dived into like a whole history of things, and you were in porn, and you were in this, and you were.
I like to tell people shit up front because then they can't turn and say, "Oh, I didn't know that."
This is very true. You disclosed a lot, and that's when I was like, you are way more.
Neither of us were like looking for a relationship or like a situationship. So
yeah, it was also like I had just moved out here, and it was COVID, and was like, I don't know people. Like, let me try dating. Maybe that will help me meet people, and I certainly did. But I also knew like what my limitations were, and what like.
You still gave it one more try around New Year's. That was really cute. When you got your boobs done?
Oh, yeah.
It was Meredith's like, so you two have never been along. I felt her up, made out with her once. She's like, what? And she didn't want my pie, though. Mm-mm. It was, that place in Berkeley.
Yeah, was that for my 40th? Yeah. It was the first year out here I had my boobs reduced. It was like my gift to myself. I didn't go home for Christmas that year. I stayed and had my boobs done.
I was like, you come over and... Doesn't it hurt you? You're like, I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, I'm always in pain. And I think that's one of the things we kind of bonded on, too, is like just having broken bodies or bodies that are sore. And
I said be commiserating.
Yeah. Like I have titanium in my neck. You have it in your chest.
Yeah, in a few places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And like we both went to massage school, so we both have that. Like we have a lot in common.
We're both healers.
Yeah. And you have always, I think, been more comfortable in the fact that you're a healer, where I'm kind of like I can do these things, but not everything. And then I've kind of gotten more into being comfortable with like, oh yeah, people come to me with their problems. People come to me with like, I need help.
They come to you randomly?
Yeah. I mean, strangers will tell me their whole fucking story. Like I've been on like a walk. I remember the last time I was home visiting my parents, I went for a walk around Castle Island, which is like this like little, like it's by the ocean, and it's like there's a fortress there, and so it has a perfect circle that you can walk around.
Yeah.
And I started walking. This woman was like, "Hi." I'm like, "Hi," and she just was like, "How's your day?" And I was like, "Oh, it's good. How about you?" Like as we're like kind of walking,
and then they tell you.
And then she just like launched into this whole thing about her daughter and her upcoming wedding and all of it. And like we just like walked. Ended up doing the whole loop twice while she told me all of her problems, and then I was like, well, how about this, and why don't you try this, and also make sure you're giving her grace and you want some grace. And the amount of times that I've had conversations like that, and then just as a bartender, people come to me with, I've written eulogies for people I don't know, like talking to people about talking to people off the ledge about stuff, like they just find me
when it's like people there's the path I walk is the path I've been trying to like keep under control because it was killing me. It was the path of the wounded healer. Mm. And people who have survived experiences that would kill any one man outright and had multiple times this shit, just like I said, not this shit again.
Right.
And then you help others heal by sharing your pain with them, your experience. Sometimes it's energy work, but it's different healing paths. I mean, the paths to shamanism I've read about and studied. I think I'm walking 2 that have picked me and 2 that I've picked. Mm-hmm. And it's funny, the ones that I've picked, I started studying the path of the warrior with the Hawaiian tradition, and found it was path of the adventurer that I should be on. Where the path of the warrior is by identifying your fears and overcoming them, and doing such, you will overcome death. Yeah. And I guarantee you that's why I'm still alive today. I don't know if that would apply at all to me anymore. Right. I have fear now, and I don't want to let go of that fear. But, I know that's why I didn't die after I got stabbed.
Well, yeah, because you used to be like, come at me, I'll survive anything. And now you're a little more like reserved and like, okay, life can be, it's more delicate.
I got something more precious that I don't want upset by me getting hurt or having to survive. And frankly, I'm really tired of putting my pieces back together.
Yeah. I went on a date the other day, and, you know, I think dating is, one, it's terrible and I hate it. But two, it's also like it reminds you of who you are, because it's like when you've been friends with the same people for so long, you don't talk about like things you've been through. You don't think about it. Where you're dating, like you're retelling someone who you are, your experiences, and we were talking about something, and I was like, oh, I don't know, I've been in like 8 car accidents. And they were like, what? No, that can't even be true. And they're like, you're a terrible driver. And I'm like, oh, I've been a passenger in almost all of them.
Yeah.
Like, oh, and then I got run over once, so I guess that's kind of, and they're like, wait, you also got run over, and that's not one of your 8 accidents?
You weren't in the car?
I've had like 6 concussions. Like, John and I used to joke about, like, the reason we got along so well is because we both had the same brain damage.
Might be why we get along so well.
Yeah, like, I'm like, oh yeah, like, I forget stuff, and maybe it's because I smoke a lot of weed, maybe it's because I have ADHD, maybe it's because I wasn't paying attention because I don't care, or maybe it's just because I have brain damage.
Maybe it's because my brother pushed me down the stairs when I was 2.
Yeah, like...
the concrete, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's, like, those are the concussions, like, I know about. Like, then there's, like, we used to just wrestle. Like, I was thinking about the other day, a kid in my neighborhood, like, my brother is 3 years older than I am, like, so he had friends in the neighborhood, I had friends, some of our friends are, like, siblings, so we would always be hanging out together as kids, but we would, like, wrestle and bike ride and, like, be jumping over things, but one of the kids in our neighborhood built a wrestling ring in his backyard.
Oh, shit.
I mean, like, ropes and all.
Yeah.
And we would be, like, throwing each other off of it and, like, slamming each other down. So, like, how many little concussions do we all have?
Oh, man, I've seen so many bad movies on that. I have to use the bathroom.
Go for it.
I just realized I was holding it and I can't do that.
Yeah, no, don't. It's going to be defrosted.
It just reminded me to, like, I got a tri-tip grill tonight. I was marinating last night.
I get, it's like a meat delivery.
Step up from a meat in a truck.
Yep. But sometimes it gets delivered and I'll get an email like 2 hours later. But then if I don't go down and get it, then I'll defrost and then it's like, here, everyone make steaks because I just
you can't refreeze it.
No, and I'm like, I just spent $150 on steaks and I'll give steaks away and be like, cook this tonight because otherwise it goes bad.
I'm officially at that point in my life where I got to stop eating so much red meat.
See, I've been eating mostly red meat, and it's much better for my body.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was. I think my cholesterol for the first time ever was like, oh shit. But I've also been eating shittier. My doctor at one point, like, your cholesterol, which is abnormally low, went up a point. It's never gone up. It's never moved in like 5 years. What's up, Mom? Dating someone who works at McDonald's and brings me home about 1 to 3 apple pies a day. He goes, okay, that'll do it.
Yeah.
But like, I'm eating. I think it went up so much because of age, and then I quit doing niacin. I used to do niacin like every other day. It helps break down the cholesterol in your body and break down the venous plaque and turn the cholesterol into positive lipids.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then you were just asking me about apple cider vinegar, which I know like some people will shoot for like weight loss or for what else?
Kidney stones. Helps break them up. I feel like I'm either got some renal colic going or maybe have another one. When my first episode of kidney stones, it was like I passed. I never felt them. I didn't see them come out, but I passed. I think 6 in 2 months, 3 months. The last one was the worst because, I just got in the hospital, came back, and I bent over, and the nurses all, oh, I've been there before, kidney stones. I'm like, yeah. Oh. And I was with this trans girl I was messing around with, who just she was waiting for me to get out of the hospital, and so she curled up with her 2 dogs, her 2 Maltese. One was dyed sapphire, the other was dyed like amethyst. It was funny as hell. She's curls up in the bed with me, and the doctor's okay, well, there's nothing we can do, so go suck it up. And I'm like, great. So I get to her car and we go to my friend Steve's, and this is the funniest shit ever. The elevator's out and I'm trying to climb up the stairs, and every step I'm just bending over more until I'm crawling on the ground, and she's trying to drag me down the hall, and her 2 dogs are running and jumping circles around me, yipping, and Steve comes out, just sees this very lovely, very passable trans, and he's dragging me down, and these 2 dogs having a heyday, and he just dies laughing. Later on, I'm sitting here for 12 hours. She goes, look, I gotta get back to my place. I can give you a ride to Stockton, or if we leave now. I'm like, I'm in so much pain. She goes, all right, look, you know what? You want to ride? Let me suck your dick. I'm like, what? She goes, let me see if I can suck it's gas, right? Let me see if I can suck it out of you. Renal colic. And it worked. I shit you. She just blew me for like a minute and belched. And I'm like, oh my God. She goes, Steve, we would have done this 12 hours ago. I said, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. How'd you know? She goes, it just sounded like a logical choice. Yeah, I mean, renal colic's the worst part about kidney stones is that gas pocket. Yeah. I mean, that's the part that hurts worse than labor, as I understand.
Yeah, I've never had kidney stones. I've had a lot of other things with my reproductive system and all that stuff, but I've never had a kidney stone, and I hope to God I never do.
First one, I don't know how long I'd been in there. Like when I went to the bathroom, I was like 4 a.m. and partying, was going to hook up with somebody, and I like looked down and I'm pissing the color of pickled beets, and it's like not coming out too well. I'm like, and I mean I'm kind of high, I'm not that, but I kind of go, I'm sorry, like, I might need to go to the ER, but I didn't make a mess, but could you just give me a reality check in there for me? It comes out. He comes out and goes, yeah, you need to go to the ER. Yeah. The other guy in the room said something about pickled beets. I said, no, I'm not hungry right now. And then it all came together. But it was like, imagine looking down and you're pissing black at 4 a.m, kind of high.
Yeah, you're like, am I tripping balls or am I actually pissing blood?
Yeah. A little bit of blood changes your urine color a lot. Yeah. And it's funny, the antibiotic they give you is a double dose of like AZO. They'll tell you to don't get it from the pharmacy, like prescribed. You'll pay more if that way. If you just go pick up a pack of it and take twice as much as they tell you to, and it'll help you prevent getting further infection. And it just, they don't tell you the first time. It'll turn your pee orange, and whatever gets on it will stain it. Oh. Yeah, it's just anything that infected stuff. It's weird stuff. But, if you think you got a little itch down there, any kind of bladder, easy out. All right. Yeah, that was... I mean, this one was, like, weird. I knew what it was because I was asleep, and I woke up, and my right nut hurt. And I'm like, what the fuck? I went upstairs and, started... So this feels like when I had a kidney stone. Because it'll hurt, like, in your... where it's not coming out of, just like in that region.
Kind of in your groin area.
Yeah, it's like my left side of my back was hurting, and then I peed, and all of a sudden it quit hurting. And, I peed a lot of blood and did a shot of apple cider vinegar, and then some lime juice helps break it up too. Oh. So I just started chugging, I drink lime juice religiously. And went to the bathroom 3 more times, and then woke up and sat up, and I went, oh my fucking God. Meredith, I think I had a kidney infection for the last 6 weeks. 12 weeks, shit. Wow. And we finally got a Hitachi, one of those vibrating massagers that if it doesn't plug in the wall, it's not really a vibrator. Okay. The ones that have the 2 settings, holy shit, and I think I just lost a filling. Well, we think that's what knocked the fucking kidney stone loose. Oh. Because she used it on me the night before, and I passed out. And I'm trying to think if I had... I think I had kidney stones around her once before, maybe. No. She had one on her honeymoon and food poisoning.
Oh God.
Yeah. That sucked. She had to get her doctor was like, the video, the telehealth was like, well, here's what we can do. Since the Bakersfield Hilton wouldn't rent my sick wife another night room, after being there for 2 nights already. And we weren't asking for freebies. Anyways, that's my anti-plug. Okay. She's like, well, you can take some Imodium, and I'll prescribe you this anti-nausea medicine called Ondansetron. And it's pretty much what they give to people that are chronically ill with chemo treatments. Like, when she went in to get the medicine, the pharmacist looked at her and went, it's for you? Yeah. Usually people don't can't come in to get this stuff. Right. And well, now she can get it whenever because she's had it before. And it barely worked. She had to pop 6 of them on the drive. And it takes a while about 3 hours to kick in. That poor girl. And then she was sick for another 7 days because of the Imodium. Right. I blame Arby's.
Well, yeah, if I was sick, I'm not eating.
No, it's because that's what got her sick.
Oh, Arby's got our food poisoning.
Yeah, I think so.
They have the meats.
Yeah, they have the shits. Meat, especially in a Joshua tree. There'd be 29 palms. Yeah, right. Yeah, that was a hell of a honeymoon. We never left the fucking bedroom really.
I wouldn't. That doesn't surprise me with you.
Yeah,
and your bag of tricks.
she had so many, like, she played it off really well. She had so many, like things happen on a honeymoon. Okay, honey, like, let me help you get in and out of the sling. She fell out the fucking sling in the first 5 minutes.
Well, was she as, and this is kind of more of a conversation for her, but was she as experienced in that kind of lifestyle as you were, or was that something that, like, you guys discovered together? Was she like...
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a boyfriend that liked to be pegged before me. When she... in New Zealand, like, you know, this is the only fucking country in the world that's not a third world country where prostitution is illegal. That's a problem. Everywhere else, it's regulated, which helps to prevent, like, you know, human trafficking, shit like that, STDs. You know, you think we get our heads out of our asses, but look who's president.
Well, yeah, look who... I mean...
Yeah.
We won't get into that, but
yeah.
The reason why so much of that stuff isn't legal is because all these guys are making so much money on the illegal part of it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like... Well, anyways, a lot of the girls that she knew when she was working a doctorate in New Zealand, like, you know, they paid for college by doing sex work, most of them dominatrixes. And she decided really early on that, you know, when she dabbled with it, that she didn't want to do it for money. She wanted to do it for fun.
Right.
I really shouldn't. The story goes, like, somebody kind of said, oh, yeah, well, Meredith's going to come, but she's, like, a dominatrix, and it wasn't true. And then that led to her showing up with, like, somebody on a collar and a riding crop, just hamming it up, and led to, like, her getting this one guy that everybody, all her friends that were, you know, semi-pros, whatever, were after, and she's, you know, nobody had a clue that she was, I guess, jacking him off and spanking him on his lunch break once a week. And dude worked 3 jobs to take care of his baby mama and baby, and didn't live with them, but, like, you know, did above and beyond what most people wouldn't do.
Right.
And I remember, like, when that came up, it was really interesting. I mean, I'm not, you know, I lived a dom sub lifestyle for a few years with my ex-wife, and I mean, she got me to be a dom, and I thought Meredith was totally vanilla. I guess that was the other 97%. And I was telling her about how I used to deal with my anger was I'd do pull-ups and do this iron body technique as I'd pull up, I'd exhale and flex my lats, my ribs, my rib muscles, and have a friend hit me in the ribs with a 2x4. Because sometimes we'd go through a couple 2x4s. I'm in my 20s. I'd come home, especially after traffic, like breathing sulfur damn near. I mean, and I was telling her about that, doing the pull-ups, being hit, and she just barely audibly muttered, "That sounds kind of hot." And I'm all, "Wait, whoa. What?" She goes, "Don't worry." And I'm like, "You're kinky?" Oh, hang on a second here. How about I shut up for a minute? She goes, and I just had to sit here for the next 2 days going, well, could I sub? I mean, how's this going to work? You know, I really like this woman. I was going to give up, you know, I was going to go vanilla. And then, like, when I said, you know, I mean, I could try subbing for her. She goes, "Oh, I don't want to dominate you." "Oh, Lord, no, I don't want to dominate you. Do you want me to dominate you?" She goes, "No." Well, let's just take this awkwardness off the table. And she's a service dom, or like a soft dom service top. She likes to please people, you know, take care of them, work them over, give them pleasure, and it's like we both have that same aspect, so we have to remember to, like, take turns. As I've been a little debilitated lately from, you know, the 12-week long kidney infection.
Right.
You know, she's been driving the bus mostly, and it's been, I mean, the girl really gets into something, she learns about it, and finds ways to go leaps and bounds and fucking... My biggest complaint in life is that almost every lover I've had, right when I get them, you know, quote, trained where I want them, where it's like, holy shit, they leave. She got there before I realized it, and has stuck around and taken me places that I hadn't experienced. And she's like, "Oh, really?" I didn't think. I'm like, "No, honey, you're like, you did what you do with everything. You learn about it, you assess, then you overachieve."
Right.
And I can't say that for any other lover. All of them have either, like, when it came time to step up, they stepped out. Which I guess, you know, is kind of a problem like a lot of women face with men, is when they have to step up, they step out. So it's, you know, maybe it's not just men.
No, there's a lot of women that do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are fickle.
Yeah. People are lazy.
Yeah, and they want what they want when they want it, and they don't want to have to give anyone else anything.
Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people call themselves GGG, good giving game. It's like, did you think you forgot the giving part? You're not as good as you thought. And I mean, what were you game for? I mean,
right. I always have, like, there's so many, even now, like, you know, I'm still exploring and learning. But there's still so many terms that I have to, like, look up or go back and look up again or be like, wait, what does that mean? And how does that, like, it's such a different world.
Yeah.
And it's interesting and it's fun and it's, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, that is not my, like, I got invited to go to a sex party, but it was like 70 people. And I was like, that just feels like, I don't know, an orgy or like, I don't, and they're like, well, you don't have to do anything. You can just come. And I'm like, yeah, I don't, that's not even like, I don't want to, like, that's too overwhelming for me.
70 people's like, you know, where's my wallet?
Yeah. And like, and how do you,
where's this going to be at? Like Marin?
It's someone's house. Like, they were like, oh, I do parties. And they were inviting me and they were telling me about it. And I was just kind of like,
invite 70, maybe 20 show up.
Well, they were like, we normally keep it around 50 people. And they were like, but our last one got really big. And there was like it was like 68 people or something. And I was like, oh, too bad you didn't have one more, you know, like, because, you know, I'm a dork. Yeah. But I was just like, that's too many. Like, if you're going to do that, why not just go to one of those sex clubs?
I like the power exchange. There's reasons for that. I mean,
but like 70 people feels very anonymous to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it
in
is
a weird, non-anonymous way.
In a way, it's... I dated with somebody that was in those, like, that scene. She's like, no, it's very incestuous. She's like, on field. She goes, yeah, I can't be on field and date because I see all these people that I've already had sex with, that I've played with at clubs and stuff. And it's, you know, the Bay Area is a small fucking world.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's really a small world, and very quickly you'll run into somebody you know. So 70 people, you know, I bet you if they've been playing for more than 3 years...
they've all probably...
They've probably know half of them. You know, like 6 degrees becomes 3 degrees.
Yeah. And to me, that's just overwhelming. Like, I have friends that are in poly relationships that are like, you know, their polycule has now run over that polycule and this polycule, and like, they're like, oh, I went on a date with this person. We were chatting. We were like, oh, yeah, we actually both used to sleep with this. And I'm like, I'm still like, I think still like a little judgy and still a little like trying to release some of that. You know what I mean?
Where's the line between compersive and just...
Yeah, like, so, and it's the same with, like, I realize that I have a problem with bi guys, and I don't want to, and it shocked me when it happened.
Drop in the bucket?
Well, it just, is it because you're actually attracted to both sexes, or because you'll put it in any hole? That's what I have figured out my problem is. Like, some people, I have a judgment against it that I don't want to hold, but I do.
Some people don't realize there's a term out there, it's homoflexible and heteroflexible. Mm-hmm. I consider myself heteroflexible. I mean, like, I'll have sex with a man or woman or transgender, but I wouldn't have a relationship with a man. I'd have one with a woman or transgender. Mm-hmm. You know, feminine sexual energy is what makes my dick hard.
Right.
Then there's homoflexible, which is like, you know, it is sort of in a way, you know, you'll fuck about anything, but there's, you know, another factor of like, most people, you know, like when it comes to like men and men's sex, it's like, you know, top or bottom. It's about keeping your dick hard.
Right.
And, you know, most bi guys that date women, most bi guys are involved with women and fool around with guys.
Right.
Very rarely can you mix the two, and you know, somebody always says something stupid. You know, that it's like any straight guy doesn't want to fuck a gay guy. He wants to get fucked by one because he doesn't get to experience that. You know, and I considered myself bi until I found the term heteroflexible. I'm like, oh, okay. A lot of bi guys get like really, you know, bashed a lot because it's like, you know, there's a whole drop in the bucket thing, which is if you've been with a man once, then you're gay. You just don't know it. You haven't admitted it.
Yeah, see, I don't think that either.
But if a woman's been with a woman once...
Well, that's just hot.
Yeah, or you know, well, I was experimenting in college. Yeah, how many women did you fuck in college? Like 50?
Yeah. Yeah, that's more than... That's more than an experiment.
Yeah, no, it still does. It's, yeah, but I mean, like...
Like, I would consider myself bi, but I've never had a full relationship with a woman.
If you had intercourse?
No. That's what I mean. Like, we've made out.
Relationship and intercourse.
Well, but I haven't had a relationship with one. I've never been on a date with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, I've made out with girls for fun or whatever, but it's never gone further. And not because I wasn't trying, but also because I didn't know how. Like, it was a weird... I realize I have so many hang-ups about sex still. Growing up Catholic, you know, I also think being raped hasn't helped or didn't help, you know, like...
It either goes one way or another.
Yeah, and I think for me too, there was always like my worth was always so tied up into whether or not I was chase or whatever, or how many people I've been with because of the Catholic in Boston.
The whole body count thing is bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what are you worried about body count? That they've slept with a lot of people, and if you're worried about STDs, it's 1 person, 50 people.
Right. If you're getting tested wearing condoms, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, getting tested wearing condoms, condoms. I mean, they only protect against like two diseases: HIV and pregnancy.
Right.
All the other ones you can transmit outside of a condom. I mean, condoms break too. That's why like there's PrEP and then like Doxy PrEP, which is hard for women to get on Doxy PrEP because the statistics show it's not effective due to lack of but it's due to lack of adherence. They ran with the European like female prostitution group. It's just as effective. Like if you're on Doxy PrEP as a male top, it's like you're 100% as long as you take it daily or within 72 hours, whatever. As a bottom, it's like 80 to 90% effective.
Okay.
And with women, less than 80. But if it's adhered to, then it's
higher. Yeah.
I can't say it is, but it seems like the statistics. Everything I've found on there says the statistics for Doxy PrEP with women are flawed. But like there's PrEP daily pill, there's PrEP monthly, bi-monthly injection, which takes a minute to get used to, and actually which Meredith's company makes. I'm like, do we get a discount? You get it for free. Oh, okay. Should I get paid to take it? Well, I did until recently.
No.
I'm still staying in the study because, like, I don't get my organs damaged from a lot of things, and they're still seeing how it reacts to some other stuff that's in my body.
Right.
It's for science. Yeah. And frankly, like, I got on PrEP because in the first place because of getting sexually assaulted. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know I got drugged and raped until I woke up, and then, I woke him up very unfavorably. I'm pretty sure he wasn't breathing too well for the next few years.
Yeah. And that's also something that's not really talked about, though, too, is that it happens to men, just maybe not as often as women, because it just happens to, I don't know many women that haven't been assaulted and or raped.
Yeah.
But, like, and it's harder for men, I think, to talk about it, to admit it, because it comes with like a whole other different kind of judgment. Well, even unfortunately,
with like domestic abuse, like men get laughed at. Men, people also don't realize how often this women could be charged. I've had a couple girlfriends I could have, should have, might still charged with like if one hadn't moved, Meredith was actually encouraging me to. Many times she'd be like, well, if you're not going to sleep with me, then, or if you're not going to have sex with me, then you need to find some other place to stay.
Right.
That's trafficking people.
Yep.
That's, she'd, like, do the same thing for me to go buy drugs to share with her, and things that come under, like, I found several videos she made of her, like, having sex with me in my sleep. And I do have, narcophilia? No, it's, I had my daughter because I was stimulated in the sleep, and then I evidently am so locked up my head I can get off more in my sleep than if I'm awake. What the hell is that called? It's somophilia. That's it.
Oh, okay.
And she would record. There's a lot of footage out there. Like I think like 20, 30 gigs. This one partner would record in the bedroom of me asleep and I was having sex, and I've not seen much of it.
Wow.
And like. She'd go down on me, stimulate, whatever, to get me to go at it. You'd see me wake up halfway through and be like, what the fuck? And I believe they call that statutory rape.
Right.
Cops didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And it's just, and then the whole like trafficking thing, like women, as often as like women complain about being objectified, it's amazing how blind or like in denial they are of objectifying other people. Mm. It's
well, I also think that like it diminishes your, when it happens so often to you, it almost diminishes your empathy towards it, because you're like, oh, this is how I get treated all the time, that's how I'm going to treat you.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it kind of makes you harder or less caring. If you're into like payback, vengeance, being a sociopath, then that's a proper way to behave. Because if you're going to treat people like shit because they've treated you like shit, then you're just shit. Everybody should try to treat another person how they want to be treated. And if you want to be treated like shit, then I guess that's your bridge to cross. But I should hope everybody aims
for bettering themselves. I mean, I try to treat people a little bit better than I would want to be treated, or I have been treated.
Right.
If I don't like the way they're treating me, I'm dumb enough to sit down and address it with them, which usually doesn't work. Usually gets a whole lot of them in a lot of denial, maybe come back in a year or two, or else, like, you know, I'm just now in life being like, this is not worth the fucking headache.
Yeah, I feel like I slowly just remove myself from that situation. Like, if someone's not being respectful or someone's not, like, meeting me where I'm trying to meet them, then I just kind of like, okay, then that's not my person, or that's not my group of people, or what. Like, I'm like, all right, you know. But I was just actually doing a pre-interview with someone about their situation and the things that they've been through, and he was saying one of the kind of things that have come out of it is him learning about how men don't have places to go. Like, he was talking to,
especially when you're a white man,
and he was talking to an like a shelter, and he was like, well, how many beds do you have for men? And they were like, none. And he was like, what do you mean? And they were like, they don't need it. Well, he's in San Francisco.
You got to get in line.
But he was just like, they don't, but the person that was talking to him was saying, like, they don't have any beds for males at their shelter. And it's a domestic violence shelter. And he was like, well, where do you send them? And they were like, oh, they just don't need it.
Yeah. If you go say you're gay or bi or like transgender or like whatever, then you'll get help.
Right.
But if you're
a straight guy,
especially a straight white guy, yeah. that's why, like, you see a lot of the guys on the streets, a lot of, like, that are straight men. Again, like, half of them just want to be there. They don't want to have responsibility. They also don't want to live past, I guess, 40 or 50. They also don't want to, like, not itch. I don't know. I mean, I was resourceful enough that most of the time people couldn't tell I was homeless.
Right.
Until I lost my car. I mean, I'd get resourceful enough to, like, I was camped out in Golden Gate Park for a week or two, up in a tree with a hammock, and I woke up to hear people going, I hear somebody snoring, but did you see him? He says, he's right here. I'm like,
up in the tree above them.
I'd leave my hammock up there for a while too. Yeah, if you ever got to be homeless, like hammock camping, it's really, because unless you got a really good mat to sleep on, you're gonna be fucked after 2 days.
Yeah.
And frankly, there are enough places in the city that you can pull that off. You just got to get the right rope or, like, ratcheting ties. No S hooks, just J hooks, because the S hooks will straighten out in your sleep.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, you get the dual J hooks, and they're made, they're coated and stuff, and they're made for holding up, like, 2,500 to 5,000, 2,500 pounds to 5,000 pounds. They'll hold your hammock up. They'll hold up one of those tree tent platforms too. So otherwise, you try to hang up one of those. By the time you get it taut, no. Yeah, no, it's like, yeah, finding help as a white male, when it comes to poverty, is just, you're kind of fucked unless you can suck a dick and smile. And then that's, like, getting the whole life survival with, like, usually drug addiction and peddling yourself for drugs for shelter. And that's, again, another form of prostitution or trafficking. I mean, it's, there's some people that are all too comfortable with it, though. I didn't realize, like, that's how I was surviving, to traffic myself at such a basic level of, like, for a few years. Until I sat down with a therapist, found out, like, oh, so you're doing this. I'm like, no, I'm not selling myself. I mean, I'd escorted, but, like, like, no, I mean, it's like you'll hook up with somebody so you can stay the night, and they're like, ugh.
Yes, because you're so far. I have not been down that road, but I have been down, we talked about, like, I was on fentanyl for a long time and it was prescribed, but when you're so far down some of that hole, you don't realize where you are, because you're just surviving. Like, you're just doing what you can to get through that day at that moment.
Just treading water.
Yeah. And I often will be like, I am tired of treading water.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to lay on the beach. Like, I just, like, get me to the shore, give me a floaty. Like, I don't have it anymore. So I can only imagine how it feels when you're that far down that road. Like, my bottom was really high compared to your bottom. You know what I mean? Like,
I found a bottom after bottom after bottom.
Right, but it's also like, my bottom was my bottom. Like, you don't understand my bottom. I can't really understand yours, but we both understand being on a bottom.
clawing your way back up.
Yeah.
And people will be like, well, I don't see why homeless people don't just get a job or like get off drugs. It's like, if you're on the streets, you need to be high.
Right.
And frankly, even if you weren't high getting a job, and you don't have a place, how are you going to wake up and show up to work every day?
Right. Where are you showering? Where are you getting clean? Where are you getting your mail? How can you,
you're in a state of crisis, for so long, how can you cope?
Right.
Especially customer service, whatever, and that. There's actually a woman in my neighborhood who everybody thought she was on drugs, and I was talking to her for a minute. I'm like, you just trauma dumped some serious shit. You've got ADD? She goes, yeah, you've got a lot. I think, people say you're schizo or whatever. I think you have something called CPTSD because you talk at such a loud, fast volume. It's, I have ADD. I don't talk that fast, but I used to, and I used to talk a lot louder. And I was trying to, steer her towards some, psychedelic therapy or some, she's kind of on a path. She knows what binaural therapy is. She's just not using headphones for it.
Yeah.
And it's funny how we came up in the conversation was she goes, came over to say hi, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. So what are you up to? I'm like, I've just got some DMT. I'm about to mix up with some vape juice and make some pens out of it. She goes, dude, I got some right here. And bust out with a pen that she got from either these delivery guys or the church. Mm-hmm. And she's been too chicken to try mine. But I've been telling her, what you want to do is, X, Y, Z, put on headphones for that stuff, take a big fat hit, because I just like the little, I'm like, quit being a fucking pussy. You need to experience, having your death experience, death to your ego. She got real scared. I actually haven't talked to her since then. No, she did take a hit off one of the pens I made and, sat the fuck down. She goes, whoa. I'm like, yeah, the stuff you're getting is from the church, yeah, but the delivery stuff, it's 160 for delivery to Pacifica, and it's not even half as potent as.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
But all this says, because we've talked about a lot about drugs, and we are not doctors. We are not. I mean, you kind of are.
I just play one in my tool shed.
Yeah, but I think that because as a kid, I was so afraid of some of these drugs, and even the first time I was doing mushrooms, I only microdosed for the first probably 3 to 6 months, and I still was afraid to take a macrodose. Because I was like, what if I never come back? What if I decide to jump off a bridge? There was all these things that I knew wasn't true, but they were so ingrained in me as the DARE kids and all of that. And then I was like, wait a second, all of this is helping me. I used weed to get off of opiates.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've used mushrooms to further heal myself, my body, my brain.
I used DMT and mushrooms to get off meth.
Yeah.
And retain my sex drive. I knew that was going to be it hasn't been the same, but still, and if you haven't tried microdosing DMT and having sex, you're missing out. I mean, it's 15-minute low to mid-grade central spinal orgasm without climax.
All right.
If you're, involved inside or being stimulated by somebody, it's. I've had some really trippy experiences, exchanging that energy and stuff. I mean, it is an energy thing.
Right.
But then again, if you do it too much during a session, you probably aren't going to be having your climax. And if you're worried about the destination, I mean, recently I had one of the most incredible pleasures of my life with no climax. I think climaxing would have ruined it. Mm-hmm. I have to show you the drunk Dumbo picture.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what I was compared to. I was just like. To get graphic, it was a little bit of DMT, a little bit of BDO.
What's BDO?
It's a type of G.
Okay.
It's my preference is GPL, but BDO can make your body hurt. It'll kind of last longer. It freezes at 50 degrees. It's weird stuff. But excuse me. I had that with eStim plug in me with this unit I've been searching for a while. I watched it go from 250 to 450. And watched it for 2 years out of stock, and almost bought 2 when it was fully in stock. And had that in me with Meredith going down on me, and it was she's like, I can't believe you didn't actually orgasm. I mean, she's always when she got done, I was just like this. I was like,
we might have to edit this. She might like us sharing some of this.
Yeah, probably not. She's getting a little used to me oversharing this stuff, but
yeah. Well, you are a classic oversharer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the things I do appreciate about you.
And my filters definitely, it's got duct tape over it.
Yeah. With some holes in it.
Yeah, we should probably edit that out.
Yeah, we'll keep that for just us.
That was getting a little graphic, but some people might want another math. It's called RS-232.
I'll have to Google it.
It's Aeros Tech.
Yeah, like just the amount of toys that are on the market, like, and things. It's such a world I am so foreign to. And it's been fun kind of dipping my toe in a little bit, but then I'm just always like, okay, yeah, that's too much for me. But I am, like, interested in exploring more and finding, like, what else could I like? And what, like, why am I so judgy about it? And, like, how to, like, heal that part and learn more and be open to it and not be so caught up in it.
Yeah, it's funny, like, the type of sex I got pursued for the most is the type I learned I like the least.
Really?
Consensual non-consent, forced sex stuff, like... I mean, I like it. A little rough can be fun with the right person, but, like, you know, I'm the kind of person that will check in multiple times, and, like, even if, like, we've known each other for a while, I've had women be like, dude, you're really turning me off with that. I'll let you know if there's a problem. And it's, you know, I've always been like that, but it got worse after somebody, you know, accused me of not consenting. Them not consenting, and just to, you know, because... It's a way to keep me from leaving. Whatever. I was already gone.
Right.
And I actually think not enough people, like, really deal with enough consent. Like, one person, like, this guy woke her up having sex with her, and she was like, I'm not okay with that. And he was like, well, I got you off. You should be,
grateful.
Yeah, and then, like, when she did, because he's being a dick about it, she notified the authorities, and the female officer was like, so he's your boyfriend, he woke you up having sex with you. What's the fucking problem? Because I didn't consent. She's like, you're his girlfriend. I mean, isn't that consent by default? And there is no consent by default.
Yeah.
And first time I kissed Meredith, I asked her, I said, like, I'm just, you know, do a lot of consent stuff, and I just feel like I should ask if I can kiss you right now. And she's like, that's really sweet. I was scared too, because I was scared of rejection, but, you know, I think that's, like, being a little extreme with it, but, like, right. I also have, like, no game. So, and there's a lot of women out there probably think I'm gay that I haven't had sex with, and that's why they think I'm gay. But, tangent, sorry.
No, that's right. I mean, it's always interesting to hear your tangents, and it's always, like, because you are and have been so in that world for so long and so experienced in it, you're very comfortable in it.
Yeah. It's, you know what's funny is when you get two kinky people together, you know what happens? You have a lot of vanilla sex. Really? Usually, because it's like, as someone who's a kinkster, it's somebody who's not, and you spend most relationship educating them. I've usually always been a kinkster all my life. Though, once two people have done it all, it's like, you know, that level of vanilla might be a little different, but it's like you're so used to, like, having kinky sex that you have some great vanilla sex, and it's like, oh, fuck yeah, man. Yeah. You're like, oh, we don't even need all the accoutrements, because it's just good, just it's like having one of those collections you don't touch. Actually, we've had to, like, go through our stuff recently and be like, I grabbed a few things that have collected officially dust, or I'm probably not going to play with, and I've got a friend who he and his wife are getting into, like, you know, that more. So I'm like, hey, do you want me to run these through the dishwasher on high heat and hit some? Can we sterilize these for you? Yeah. He's like, dude, yeah, sure. I brought one over. He goes, I don't think that's gonna fit. I think I know which one that is. It looks like this bottle. I'm only kidding. I don't. That one would fit. But it was about that long too. I think so. Yeah. That was a smaller one. It's probably the smallest one I own. Oh my god. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I've bought a few of, because my ex-wife was like, said that if she put this all the way and hit the Hitachi and closed her eyes, it would feel like me. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, you go take that with the divorce. You take that with the car. Yeah. Was it black or purple? I think it was black. Okay. I think both were black, but I could be wrong. I'll have to find the pictures and send it to you. I'm trying to think of what I had back then that I still have now. It's changed a lot. I've recently, like, gotten obsessed with eggs. As for, like, what they'd be called silicone birthing eggs, but like different sizes. Then there's the whole ovipositor, which is originally marketed as the Splorts, the egg-laying tentacle dildo. You make these eggs out of Noxon flavored gelatin and then push them to this little. I finally got one and only used it once because it was a little weird for me. So you put an egg inside her or you to lay? Me. Okay. And then I oh my god, edit this out or not? I fucked it. Oh my god, I fucked with her so bad. I didn't mean to fuck with this bed. She put him in. She goes, "Can't take my hand up." All, no, honey, if you take your hand out, our babies will get cold and die.
Oh my
and she
God.
jumped across the room and looked at me, and I just lost it laughing. I don't know if it was horror, disgust, or sort of me doing. Especially the way I said it too.
So do you put the egg in and you have sex while it's in, or is like the release?
The release. I mean,
is
you
like,
feel it go in there. And it's like boom. It's like you put it in, then you push the eggs through. Some are like, this big to the size of like,
And then do you like just poop them back out, basically?
They usually just, well, if they're made of like if they're made of like noxoflavor gelatin, they'll usually dissolve back and come out. But then it's, I don't know if it was the lube we used in conjunction with it, but when it came out, we figured it dissolved. Let's make sure it was all out, and I basically had a layer of unflavored gummy I had to peel off of my ass.
Okay.
It was like hilariously gross. I mean, I'm not sure it was a little bit more weirded out by Meredith or me, but I think
I am right now.
it is a weird toy. I mean, some people are like, "Oh, I'll get the silicone ones to dissolve." I'm like, you want to have to go fishing for that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole Hindtae fetish thing.
Yeah.
Though, like, we have this thing where we try not to get toys that look like real things because it's I don't know, just creeps her out. It's like Uncanny Valley.
Mm.
But we had to get one. It barely fits. It's called Dildos and Dragons.
Is it big in the D&D world?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's based after. We actually just got enough stuff to start playing that game. I have to find another person because I don't want our first game to be a solo. Because it's just, frankly, it limits what we can do. And but I just bought a box of like 116. The 116 models used in this one book was one adventure.
And this is just D&D, right? This is not sexual D&D.
No. Well, they got one dildo. It's kind of a mantelpiece now. I mean, I haven't figured out how to fit it in.
Put it in like a shadow box.
I tried a croquet mallet and it didn't work. I mean, get a running start and track shoes and it's, well, with the adult enough crowd that I would have over at our place, it wouldn't be inappropriate. We still have to finish my table too. We're like, we have to downsize. We just become quasi hoarders. I mean, with my whole like, different hobbies and then like apocalypse survival readiness stuff. And I can't own a gun for another year, so like I've got a collection of bow and arrows, a couple bow and arrows, the air javelin, which is a crossbow, but it's no bow, it just uses compressed air.
Okay.
It's a pneumatically activated bolt thrower. It's kind of cute. It's little. I've taken up a...
If anything happens, just let me know where to meet you, because I have nothing to be prepared for.
First, if you do any camping, first thing you should do is get one of those filter straws, and then find the chem filters, because like you come up on it, like you know how they got the circles out there with all the water, the cisterns in San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Crack those up. There's plenty of water in there. Yeah, plenty of stale, stagnant, Girardi-laden water.
Right.
So if you took one of those tabs and put it in there, like I think one tab will handle up to like upwards of 100 gallons, and then you just can't touch it for a couple days. Like literally can't touch it. But the life straws, and you'll see people like run it through a life straw and through this filter, and still come out a little funky. And then MREs, you go buy a case of those. That'll last you a while because Lord knows they got so much nutrients and they're hard to eat. If you ever get the vegetarian omelet, just you want spaghetti.
Right. Maybe we'll have you come back another day and tell us all about how to be prepared.
Well, I mean, if you think, there's actually a website, Zombie Apocalypse Survival. Okay. And if you can survive it, if you're prepared for a zombie apocalypse, you can survive about anything. All right. People are like, people understand like, money, gold, no, ammo, food. That's also why I started getting into like archeries, because that's a renewable resource. Right. It's easy to, like, they got takedown bows and stuff, getting the string, it's just... But there's also the factor of, like, if you got to leave your domain and move, then, like, how much shit can you carry? Right. That's where it gets sketch. That's where dry shampoo comes in real handy. Hand sanitizer baths. That's also where, like, that or bleach. I mean, you start to get a funk on your body, some kind of skin fungus, and you use bleach or, like, what's that pink soap called? It's like, basically... the biggest thing you're going to run into in a situation like that is people. You'll be killed by somebody else before you'll starve to death.
Right.
And then they'll probably eat you. I mean, it's pork.
Yeah. The other white meat. The other white meat.
Only a couple chromosomes from pigs. Anyways. What else did you want to talk about today?
Well, I was going to say, let's wrap it up, because I know you have to get back to your loving wife, and I have to do more work. But what's, like, out of all the experiences that you have, and now where you're sitting in a place where you are, you know, you have a well-established relationship, you have your home, you have your job, like, you have, on the surface, like, recovered from all of it. Do you feel like you have? Are you still waiting for the other shoe to drop? Because we talk about that a lot, like just waiting for it, like with bated breath. Or have you learned to like just accept where you are?
I've learned to accept it and be happy. You know, I've said this for years, and I'm having to reinforce it. Having a nice, tall, cold glass of boredom, of mellow, of normality, instead of like always going for the juice, be nice to have. Mm-hmm. And it is nice. My wife is such a fucking wonderful person. Every day I tell somebody, if not myself, how much of a lucky man I am. The receptionist at work has been like, you are a lucky man. But we also, you know, we trade recipes. So, yeah, no, it's like, I'm not waiting for the other shoe to fall. I'm like seeing myself not... I give myself a hard time lately because, like, you know, our house is a bit of a mess. Frankly, we've been having, like, so much more sex lately that we've not been taking care of shit. Or, like, my back or whatever. And I'm like, my wife deserves better than this. And we both will, like, I went down the other day to say, hey, you know, I want you to leave for a day or a couple days because I need to bust ass in this house. I'm sorry I'm not taking care of my share. She goes, I thought you couldn't hear me when I was on the phone with my therapist. I'm like, I couldn't. She goes, that's exactly what I was talking to her about. Ooh. So we're always on the same fucking page. I mean, anytime she's been about ready to voice an issue, as she inhales, I exhale something to address the issue, like, consistently.
But do you think that's just because you're both good at communicating? No? I
think I have better intuition than most women. We're pretty good at communicating. I'm good at communicating. She's gotten better with it. She's learned not to. She's learned I will miss things, misreading between the lines, or I'll flat out be like, if you're trying to, if you're not clearly communicating an issue with me, expect me to read between the lines. No, right. I'm just gonna ignore it. I mean, unless it's like, you know, it hasn't happened often. You know, her mom's like Mary Poppins, so it's like, you know, having to understand what it's also. Sometimes it's like being in the South, you know, when they say "bless your heart," you know, as a way of saying you're fucking stupid,
right?
I'll pray for you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's those subtleties. Like, I'll miss a lot, but I mean, her eyebrows especially communicate so much, and just, I've gotten really good at reading people and her in general. It's not our communication is almost nonverbal. Mm-hmm. She often forgets to say things, and we'll back up and, did I say that? I'm like, no. I heard you though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the easiest thing I've ever done. She made a comment a while back about, like, you know, if you die before I do, I know I'm just going to back up a van to the puppy rescue place. And I'm like, don't back up, honey. I promise. I'll wait for you to go.
Yeah.
And then I'll go. She's like, oh my God, that's no puppies. If you want puppies, get puppies, but don't make me the reason. So.
Well, I hope you two have a long and happy life together, and I hope that I get to continue to be a witness to it.
I'll be upset if you don't.
Thank you for sharing so much of your story. I know it's a really hard one to share, but you do it in a way that I think helps other people be more comfortable in the shit that they might have gone through. And the fact that you are a success story of, like, you were down and homeless for years and you got it back. And you've done it with dignity and trying to help other people and to continue to, like, try to educate yourself and to educate others. If you want to wallow in your own shit on your knees like a pig, then do it. Otherwise, get up off your fucking knees and on your feet, take a shower like a human being. No. Don't give up. Yeah.
And trust me, somebody out there does care for you, even if you don't care for yourself. But if you can't learn to care for yourself,
you'll never see someone else caring.
Yeah. No. You'll never appreciate it either. All right, girl. It's great seeing you.
It was great seeing you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.